Then the Seahawks pulled off a beautiful halfback option that sent number 80, Steve Largent, flat out in the end zone.
Herrera now will try from 25 yards away. Zorn, oh, it's a fake, and here's Zorn on the road, and Zorn has picked up the first down. A field goal fake, and Jim Zorn picks up the first down. First and goal for Seattle.
I like it. Now, I want to tell you, there's no pressure on this football team to win. I'm talking about the Seattle Seahawks. They're building for the future, and they're doing it in good time. And they'll do anything to get the ball in the end zone, and it was designed as a pass. Zorn, excellent scrambler, picks up the first down, took the Jets totally by surprise. I love it.
Uh-oh, a fake. And they're coming up the near sideline, and it is complete for the first down to Ron Howard. Well, Patera gambled and won in the first half. After a penalty against Kansas City, he went on 4th and 1 and got a 55-yard touch from Hunter. And here he goes with the pass.
Boy, Jack Patera.
Pickup of 9 for the first down.
If Jack Patera isn't a gambling man, I've never seen one. You've got a punter throwing a pass, 4th down and 5 on your own 35-yard line. Now, those are odds I don't like. But in that case, it works.
Thunderfoot turned out to be Thunder Arm on that one, didn't he?
And it is an 11-man rush. Weaver's going to throw. Herman Weaver able to complete to Cornell Webster. All right, let's check that one again.
And take that in your face, Oakland Raiders. Herman Weaver, one of the better punters in the National Football League, and he's got Webster wide open on this big punt. Webster almost all the way. The back judge will count it as down. It was not a fumble. The Seahawks have the ball inside the 5-yard line.
Watch that offensive line of Seattle. They're the key.
Well, Sims looking to throw. And he gets away with it to the tight end, Peets. Brian Peets off the flip from Sims, who has done this successfully in the past. Little razzle-dazzle. Jackson and Foley combining. All right, he can smile now. Jack Patera pulling one off for a first down at the 15. He is smiling at the 15-yard line.
The old flea flicker. Pitch it back to Sims. He tucks it under his arm, pulls it down. And I'll tell you, if it would have been a little better throw, Peets might have walked in the end zone. But Steve Foley, along with help from Tom Jackson, prevent the score.
On 4th down, Efren Herrera has come into the game. Keep in mind, Zorn is the holder. Efren Herrera's longest field goal in his career is 52 yards. This one would be about 54 yards. It would be 55 yards, as a matter of fact. Seconds ticking away on the 30-second clock. They'll have time to get it off. Keep in mind, Zorn, the quarterback, is the holder. It's the Bacon. Wide open. Oh! Efren Herrera has a first down inside the 20, and Seattle's doing everything.
I love it. I want to tell you, folks, this is the kind of play pro football needs. Not parity, but enterprise, inventiveness.
Watch number 1, Efren Herrera go right up the middle. Nobody is covering him. Zorn puts it right in there. No problem. Efren Herrera says, I can be a receiver too. All right.
Shows you what surprise can do. Instead of the stereotype, the same defenses, the same offenses, the same playbooks, only the numerology different. Jack Patera is giving the nation a lesson in creative football.
And the renovations that Art Modell has led here as the prime tenant of this big stadium have totaled 3 times more the construction cost. There's the pass by the left-handed throwing Sherman Smith, the former quarterback, and it's completed to Brian Peets, the tight end, and he is brought down by Oliver Davis, number 21. So Brian Peets comes up with a reception.
Sherman Smith a little rusty, throwing like a tank, not only running like one, but the left-hander tosses it out there to Peets, who makes a good grab. We spoke a little earlier about the possibility of that halfback pass, and Coach Patera has been opening up his offense. You'll probably see a few more innovations besides that passing of Smith.
Nevertheless, they bought some time now. Weaver, who's had one blocked, is going to pass out of the punt formation to Rival. And Rival is tackled at the 40-yard line. How about those gambles?
3 gambles. 3.
Herman Weaver is 3 for 3 this year in passing out of punt formation.
Boy, oh boy, look at that.
Look at that.
Wide open.
And Steve Rival, who had been injured on the onside kick, is finally brought down by Schwartz. What a gamble, and it paid off.
Apparent effort, you've got to say again. Always apparent effort. Never know about Zorn who's holding. Nope, there you go. You call the shot. Zorn gonna put it up, and he hits his man in the 30. Now the race is on for the first down, and it is Sherman Smith out of the backfield, and he may have it. Mike Davis, number 36, made the tackle, but did you see all the sidestepping going on there? With Sherman Smith short of the first down, putting the fake on Davis, and it looked like it was Sherman Smith who was the better dancer.
How many times have Seattle fans seen this happen? Herrera going out for the pass, Zorn looking left and throwing to Smith. Smith has no blocking, so he's got to put this move on number 90, Willie Jones, and he does. He gets the first down with that second effort to keep the Seattle drive alive.
So a 44-yarder is Jim Zorn to hold. They're faking it. Zorn is going to run it. He's to the 20, 15. He is down to the 6-yard line. And that is part of the changes that you'll see throughout this football game as they cross up Philadelphia. It's 1st and goal at the 6. Randy Logan eventually made the stop after a 20-yard pickup.
That's one thing. And look on this play who the lead blocker is. Herrera, he fakes the kick. Now he leads right here. He leads Jim Zorn up through the hole. He really doesn't block anyone, but he gets in the way, and right at the end he tries to, and that's what we're talking about the punt.
Herrera has become something of a celebrity around the NFL. He has made the art of place kicking more than just converting extra points. When Herrera lines up for a kick, you never really know what's going to happen next. And on more than one occasion in 1980, opposing teams learned that when Herrera takes the field, anything is possible.
Jack Patera obviously agrees, and out trots Efren Herrera. Keep in mind, Seattle does not always do what they're supposed to do.
Herrera can be a very effective receiver, as we learned in the Atlanta game last year.
Zorn, the holder.
I think they go with the points here, though.
I would think so.
27-yard attempt.
No.
Herrera's way
Herrera! There he goes!
Out of bounds. He does not get into the end zone. A little too eager, but the crowd loves it.
That is amazing.
That's a first down. That Herrera has become the most exciting wide receiver in the game of football today. Only on Monday night.
It happened in Atlanta, Howard, a year ago.
That's
Atlanta
right.
and Seattle, they did the same thing. You would think that the scouting report would have alerted Oakland to watch this dangerous and wily wide receiver.
But he's actually learned several new routes, Frank. That's the reason why.
Not only that, once, you know what Patera did? Yeah, look, he was out of... You know what Patera did once? He used Herrera as a lead blocker in front of Zorn.
And it sold for $1,700. Here's another angle of it. You'll see again, number one, you can tell a receiver by the route that he runs. That's a good pass, as a matter of fact, left-handed.
That's called your basic banana route.
I love it.
Efren Herrera from Guadalajara.
Going to kneel just beyond the 40, so we'll call it a 51-yard attempt. Be alert for the fake. with either Zorn or Herrera doing the honors. And here is the fake. Zorn throws. He's got his man. Hughes tripped a little bit. They got the first down. David Hughes made the catch. Zorn's going to stand up and hit Hughes, and I think you'll see here, Jim, that if Hughes didn't stumble just a bit, he might have gone all the way.
I think you're right, Bob. We've talked about it before, and that's the one thing I love about Jack Patera and his offensive thinking. He'll punt from field goal, he'll throw to it. Zorn made a good choice there not throwing to Herrera because he's not going to beat anybody.
A gain of 20, and the Kingdom is jumping.
They're so versatile. I love their offense.
3rd down 2. From the tight formation, play fake, and looking to the end zone. Got it. Touchdown. A tackle eligible.
Yes, sir.
A tackle eligible. Dennis Boyd made the grab, number 68.
A marvelous call by Jimmy Zorn. He had to, Boyd had to check in with the officials. I'm surprised that the Denver Broncos didn't see it. He's out of position. He's got to check in. He has a non-receiving number 68. A simple play, a dive fake. Look at this, a crossing pattern. Touchdown from the word go. Outstanding call by the Seahawks. My congratulations to that Seahawk line. Nice drive.
And a very happy Dennis Boyd, the 4th-year man out of Oregon State.
4th and 7, and they're going to go for it. Over it comes, and it's a tackle eligible Steve August, but there's a penalty marker down. Steve August taking it on a tackle eligible, but let's see what the call is. First down. Apparently, the flag was thrown inadvertently as the official thought he was not an eligible receiver.
Reported as an eligible receiver. The play is legal. First down.
A fake, and up the sideline, first down and more. And look again now at this Jeff West return up the sidelines, out of punt formation.
Well, there was nobody over on that right side. And as Jeff West takes it up there, they had a return going the opposite way, it looked like. And he just took that ball. It was a preconceived play for them. Turned out to be a big one.
Efren Herrera on. Jim Zorn is the holder. Art Kuhn is the snapper for Seattle. But Seattle does a variety of things out of their field goal positioning. This will be a 36-yard attempt. This is one of them.
Here we go. They
Sherman Smith. They work on it. We told you they'll do many things. Touchdown, Seattle. It was Sherman Smith with a little shovel pass from Zorn.
But the key was the decoy they sent out in Efren Herrera.
He is marvelous.
Look at Jack Patera and Efren. He said, "Boy, you did it just like we threw it up."
They ought to put that formation in and use it from anywhere.
See, Sherman Smith, number 47. Efren, of course, is drawing them all the way. The little shovel pass went right in front of Lyndon King, the linebacker. Nobody's there.
So easy. So easy. That's great.
Crowd love it.
Fourth and about an inch. And Zorn talking to one of his running backs. And I wouldn't be surprised to see them snap the ball, and they do. It's a quick kick by Dornick. And Dornick hits it perfectly down to about the 5-yard line. It's going to roll to the 2. Well, we saw them practicing that play with some great fakery.
Well, it was a heck of a play as far as a quick kick is concerned. I don't know. You still got to wonder. They had a chance to keep possession of the football with an inch to go. They're giving the ball back to the Bears, and I'm not taking anything away from the play as Zorn moved out of the pocket, Dornick with that kick, and it took the right bounce, and it put the Bears right behind the 8 ball, but they still gave up the football.
Yes, they did. I'm not sure about that strategy either, but I love the acting on the part of Jim Zorn, strolling off to holler an audible up to his wide receiver. We'll be back. 4th and an inch, a performance worthy of Sir Lawrence Olivier. Number 10, Jim Zorn, the quarterback. Watch this. He looks over here, he talks to his running back. He says, hey, move up, move back, whatever, changes the signal, gives him the count, walks over now to the wide receiver saying, you got to play. And then meanwhile, they snap the ball to Dornick, and Dornick makes maybe one of the most perfect quick kicks you've ever seen. They got a Seattle bounce, they roll to the 3-yard line. Perfect execution all around.
Well, it was a play that we've had in our playbook for 6 or 7 years, almost since the beginning of the Seahawks, and we've never run it. And I'm lined up off to the right. Part of the ploy is Jim lines up behind the center, looks out to me, hollers my name twice, Largent, Largent, and that's part of the cadence. And then he says, hut. Dan Dornick receives the ball from the center and boots it down, and I run down to cover the punt.
Seattle's quick kick put the Bears in a hole from which they never escaped. Once more in 1982, trick plays were a familiar feature of Seahawk games.
43-yarder for Norm Johnson, a fake, and they run it through, and it's a first down. Well, you often will see that from Seattle. And you saw Zorn run the football out of a field goal formation.
Well, I don't think it surprised too many people in the stadium. You've got 6 minutes left. They're 2 touchdowns behind. It's 4th and 3, and they're lining up for a field goal. They've been very successful, has Seattle, in the past in running gimmick plays like that.
And it ended appropriately with one of the most exciting games of the season.
Norm Johnson will try a 51-yard field goal. His longest this year is 48. This would be his longest ever as a pro. His longest is 48 yards prior to this attempt. And it's a fake. Jim Zorn, he's going for it all, and Hughes is open. It's a touchdown. Those helmets hide a lot, but they don't mask the smile.
There's no way you can mask the smiles here. And Zorn, although he has been on the bench today, comes in for one beautiful pass play. Again, uncharacteristic of Chuck Knox coach teams. I begged Chuck to run this kind of play for years. And I'm going to ask him, why didn't you run that when we were in there? But a good call. Rusty Tillman, of course, has that kind of play in for the special teams, and they are elated. He has had his kind of day.
Largent to the left. Walker to the right. Johns going very wide to the left. 2 seconds on the clock. Oh, what a catch! Dave Krieg turns receiver.
Conservative Chuck Knox. Watch this, a handoff inside to Largent, a throwback, but a tremendous athletic move. Look at Craig, he's got to turn into a wide receiver. Boy, I like that.
And we have to explain that he was an eligible receiver because he was in the shotgun.
And he handed it for exactly right. Yes, you were exactly right. Now watch the move. Turns into a wide receiver there.
At the 1. Now 106 straight ball game. Hughes, flea flicker, back to Krieg. He goes deep. Turner's open. He has it. Touchdown, Seattle. 49 yards. Darrell Turner, the rookie out of Michigan State. DT for deep threat. His 10th touchdown of the year. And he's looking at Rookie of the Year honor. Strong possibility for this young man.
I'm impressed with the call, Charlie. They just picked up a first down. They're going to say, all right, we're at the 50-yard line. Let's do something different. Running play? No, it's not a running play. It's a little gimmick. Chuck Knox is not above putting in a few gimmicks. First down, throws it down the sideline. Lewis, number 29, is fooled. big play gets Seattle on the board.
Third down, long 3. Largent is going to throw the ball if he can, trying to go back to his quarterback, but he looks downfield, and he finds Byron Franklin. I think Largent wanted to go back to Krieg. Krieg was covered. Largent was very cool, kept it all together, looked downfield and found Franklin.
Hey, Frank, Largent, I think, would have thrown that ball if he hadn't tripped. He came around. You'll see he's about to turn and throw. If he would have thrown, it may have been an interception, but he tripped. Being a heads-up player, he looks elsewhere. There's Byron Franklin hustling.
Krieg. And the catch is made and then flipped to Williams, and he takes it to the 12-yard line. How about that? Largent to Williams. And that was a design play all the way. Steve Largent goes up in the air and flips the ball back to John L. Williams. That's the fastest shovel I've ever seen. Well, you got to think that's planned all the way. Now watch the ball. It's going to be high to Largent. He's going to leap. And as he comes down, yeah, that's a throw all the way. What a play by Steve Largent. Unbelievable. Gets credit for the catch, though. Man can do a lot of things. That's a reception and a lateral.
For 43 yards on the net. Here comes the reverse to Largent. Back to Krieg. Wide open. Got a man out there. Touchdown, Butler. Great place to call that play, and what terrific execution of it.
Hey, you get the flea flicker here. You got a lot of good people, sure-handed people handling the ball, and nothing wrong with Krieg's throw right here. He puts it right on the money. Of course, when the receiver beats guys by 10 and 15 yards, it's hard to miss that pass.
4 wide receivers for the Seahawks. Scansey, the motion man. Inside handoff to Scansey to Largent. Flea flicker back. Good coverage downfield, though. Pass is complete to Brian Blades. They wanted to go deep over the middle. And the man they wanted to go to was Ray Butler. But the Raiders dropped back 2 men picking him up.
It's an odd play on third down, Charlie, because you're usually not as aggressive on a third down and long situation. That's what we had here. Is anybody going to believe that you're going to run a double reverse on third down at 8 or 9? It's not the play to call there. That's why the good coverage in the secondary by the LA Raiders.
21 yards, though, to the 30-yard line and a first down.
An 89-yard drive for the Seahawks. A fake. Casey goes in. 2-point conversion for the Seattle Seahawks. It's 15-0.
Now, obviously, Seattle special teams coach has seen something through the week that enabled them to do that.
Seattle dominating early here at the Kingdom.
First and goal. Deems May in motion. Ricky Waters. He wants to throw, and he does. Caught by Deems May. A 1-yard touchdown pass by Ricky Waters. May's first touchdown catch of the year. And he's playing with a broken hand.
I'll tell you, Bill Romanowski is just a word away from getting a 15-yard penalty, which his team does not need right now.
And you got 2 quarterbacks in the game. Seneca Wallace, Matt Hasselbeck. Wallace throws to Hasselbeck. Hasselbeck throws it back to Wallace. 1 man to beat. And here we go. And John, one of the things that Jim Moore told us is that I want West Coast, but I want us to be creative. a little daring and go out of the box. That one was out of the box.
And that's creative right there. They know they have a tremendous athlete in Seneca Wallace. We've seen the Wildcat. Well, there's their version of the Wildcat. You put both quarterbacks in, you throw it over to Hasselbeck, and then you throw the screen back to Seneca Wallace. Let him use his athleticism. Great play. And you want creative, that's creative.
There's an anxiety because, well, what have we done? Nothing.
And it's a fake punch. John Carlson, the tight end. Still going. Spinning. All the way down to the Arizona 20.
Well, you almost knew that Seattle, here he's just going to drift out from the right side. You almost had to know that Seattle needed to do something. To just be 3 and out, they needed to change the emotional tide of this game. Carlson, a good young player out of Notre Dame. I don't know that he figured his leading receiver in yardage today was going to come from the punter, but he'll take it any way he can get it.
Washington along the backfield. Quick throw. They're going to throw it. Former quarterback in college, and there it is to Leon Washington. First down, Seahawks. Michael Robinson, who set all kind of records at Penn State for running / playing quarterback, dropped one earlier, but comes up nice here, pulls a trigger. And a little of that hocus pocus Pete Carroll pulls out of his former USC bag.
And watch Michael Robinson. He's going to catch the screen from Matt Hasselbeck, and Leon Washington catches the pretty ball from Michael Robinson.
First and goal at the 7. Matt under center. Eye backs with force at the tail of the eye. Play fake to him. Matt has time. Throws backside. Wide open in the end zone. Touchdown Seahawks. John Carlson from 7 yards out. That's his second touchdown of the day. And the Hawks have found their man, John Carlson. Holy smoke.
And the Seahawks come back with a little diversion of their own. John Carlson blocking on the outside on the line of scrimmage, blocks the defensive lineman, falls down on the ground, and then gets back up and is uncovered in the end zone, wide open as Matt Hasselbeck rolls out to his right and throws all the way back to the other side of the field.
We're going to have a track meet here today, man. 11 minutes to play here in this second quarter. It's the Saints 17, the Seahawks 14.
Sidney Rice gets the pitch, and he's going to throw it for Mike Williams. He's got it. Inside the 30 of the Rams. Josh Gordy was back there covering.
Can you make a better throw than you just saw from Sidney Rice? That was ridiculously good on point. Here's Justin King. Man coverage. He's going to roll with Sidney Rice. Sidney Rice gets it now, and then the other side, clearly Josh Gordy bit up and then was unable to get started again in terms of the change of direction. Mike Williams ran right by him. That is a perfect throw from Sidney Rice.
A 55-yard gain on first down.
Yep.
Robert Turbin checks it at running back, the rookie from Utah State. And then Sidney Rice dancing around toward the backfield. He gets the football. And he throws it. And it's caught inside the 15 by Zach Miller. A 25-yard completion.
And it's a double pass, and you see Sidney Rice. He's coming over the top right here. He's going to peel out to the right. Quick throw from Russell Wilson. Bang, now he's going to set up. And Zach Miller, Antoine Winfield came up. You're going to see Antoine Winfield force it up right there. And Miller runs right by him. Nice throw from Sidney Rice.
He's 4 of 6 in his career passing, and that was definitely behind the line of scrimmage.
For Lynch, who is closing in on another 1,000-yard season. Had a couple with Buffalo. There's a pitch back. Turbin looking to throw. He fires. Touchdown! Sidney Rice on the catch. It was actually Golden Tate on the option. And Sidney Rice with his second touchdown catch. A 23-yarder.
A little razzle-dazzle from Seattle. He just flipped it back to Golden Tate. You don't realize he's left-handed. Charlie, Jeremiah Bell, they've got their eyes in the backfield thinking it's going to be a run.
Give it to him again. They're going to sling it back. Look at this gadget play. Wilson going deep for Curse. He's got it. Touchdown, Seattle.
Is that saying of a local boy done good? Oh, well, he's doing really good. And Marshawn Lynch kind of pushes it, shot puts it back to Russell Wilson, and there's no push right there. He unloads that football. And again, that's the trust on these one-on-one situations. Is he covered? Yes. Russell Wilson says, my guy's better than yours.
Just before that trick play.
That's the poker face. Don't get excited, Russell. We're coming with it. We're coming with it. But watch Curse right here. Watch him come. He's going to kind of hide, act like he's run blocking, and he is gone. Right now, the race is on. Good coverage by Thomas Deku. He does a great job recovering. But again, it's just the trust that Russell Wilson has in Curse.
Lynch will shift back behind Wilson. And they'll go reverse and looking pass. It's Curse throwing it to Wilson. And with a helmet flying off by the defender, Wilson holds on. A play that went for a touchdown today in Cincinnati for Andy Dalton, but in this case, 17 for Seattle.
Going this way, somebody's got to stay outside to contain Russell Wilson. The fake, the reverse, and nobody sees him. Good job by Curse. And how about the old baseball player knows to look it in and is able to protect himself as Raheem Moore comes over. We saw that in practice. It worked almost identical to what we just saw there, Jim.
This is a bit of a surprise for me. This is a long field goal. Now, Hauschka, 33 of 35 last year, had a career year. Let's see if he can make it a two-score game.
From 49. Fake, Ryan running. Punter gets the first down.
Gutty call by Pete Carroll. I know who the grinder's going to be tonight.
Just going to say that. Just going to say that. He's been awesome.
I've seen the zone stretch play run for years in Seattle, but I haven't seen it with Jon Ryan. Ball's a direct snap. They run right to the left, and they pulled number 64, J.R. Sweezy.
He did that once with Green Bay. Second time in his career he has run for a first down.
Of Jon Ryan. Hauschka from 38. Snap is good. Spot is a fake. Jon Ryan around the far side. He's going to throw. He's got a man in the end zone. It is a touchdown. Seahawks. Are you kidding me? Gary Gilliam, a former tight end, now a tackle. His first touchdown as a pro, and what a time to pull a fake punt out of the bag.
O'Donnell to Lockett. Look at this. Look at that fake. And there they go with Sherman inside the 30. And he is double whammied at the 20. It was the old fake out by the punt returner.
And it was well done. Saw it in the college football game last night. Can't remember which one. Everybody's running here. Watch Richard Sherman, bottom of the screen where the punt goes. What a job by Richard Sherman. Finding the football and making that catch.
63-yard return. At this point, you think he's got to be gone. But Lamine Barrow is able to bring him down.
First down at the Carolina 40. Chris Matthews motions. The toss, Marshawn Lynch back to Russell Wilson, and he throws it up top. And Ricardo Lockett's got it for a touchdown. What a play! Don't you draw those plays up in the dirt?
Well, a little razzle-dazzle. You pitch it to Marshawn Lynch. He makes a nice little throw back to Russell Wilson. Then Russell Wilson just trusts Ricardo Lockett. Kurt Coleman plays it quite well until the finish, when Lockett just goes up and over and pulls it in. That's just a great play by Ricardo Lockett.
Man. Came into the game with one catch this season, has 2 in this game. That one, a takeaway from Kurt Coleman.
We should have had a first down conversion right there, but it ends up being an incomplete pass.
Doug slipped a little coming out of his break, but now that I look at the replay, I think he'd say he should have had that. Third punt of the day for Jon Ryan as Ted Ginn Jr. Now there's a fake coming near side, running the ball, coming up the sidelines is Shed. He's got a first down. Holy smoke, the fake punt works as Shed, the up back, takes the snap and comes to the near side. He picks up 17. Pull out all the stops, Pete. The Seahawks are on the move.
Well, that's what you have to do at this stage in this football game. You got to take some gambles. That time, that fake punt worked perfectly. You snap the ball to your up guy, Jaxon Shed, and he takes it around the right end as he gets a block out in front. He breaks a tackle and ends up getting a first down. Good job by the Seahawks. Great call by Pete Carroll.
That's a tough snap.
Which he doesn't need to do in that type of situation. By the way, guys, Russell Wilson, this is a lateral. Tanner McAvoy with a pass coming back. Precise inside the 5. Taken down at the 2, a 43-yard pass by Tanner McAvoy.
Okay, guys, here's who you need to keep an eye on, all right? Here's Precise. Here's McAvoy. The ball's going to go there first, and watch Precise get out of the backfield. And Tanner McAvoy did what at Wisconsin, Chris Spielman?
He was wide receiver. He was a safety. And Charles, yes, he started quarterbacks in games for the Badgers. And you can see right there, perfectly thrown ball to C.J. Precise, who was only a running back at Notre Dame, but also played wide receiver at Notre Dame. That's Pete Carroll and those guys, Schneider, drafting talent.
It's to Baldwin, who's looking to throw. He's looking to go back to Wilson. It's there for the touchdown.
I saw it coming. To make sure he doesn't release. Doug Baldwin did a really good job of pulling up probably before he was ready because he was under pressure, but a perfect spiral and a perfect throw to Russell Wilson. Check out his form and throws well under pressure.
That was Baldwin's first ever NFL pass attempt.
A couple things. Baldwin throws under pressure, but Russell Wilson wants to go outside, but the outside, Connor Barber was there, so he cut it up inside quick. Now watch.
We'll give him a 10 on the pass and I don't know, maybe a 5 on the cartwheel.
I don't know. The Russian judge says that's going to go low.
And here's McKissick, throws it back to Wilson, trying to set up deep for Richardson. Collins is back. Richardson, who's got it? A fight for it in the end zone, and there's no signal. And now it's a touchdown. Richardson comes away with it. Amazing.
So there's the toss to McKissick, and Russell Wilson saunters back over to the left, and then he just loads it up and cranks it about as far and deep as he can. And right there, Richardson has it when they hit the ground. And if that's possession, then Richardson has it because it's joint possession.
That's George Fant, the extra tackle in motion. He can also be a tight end. Oh, little trickery here. Wilson gets it back, looking, airing it deep, going for it all, and he's got it for the touchdown. Malik Turner hauls it in for Seattle.
So watch Mills, because he actually sees it. So does the ball go backwards? Yes, that's a lateral back to Russell Wilson. There's Joey Hunt providing blocking out front. And a beautifully thrown ball by Wilson. Mills saw it and saw the play happening, just couldn't get there in time. See, he gets taken out a little bit. Nice job by Malik Turner selling the fake. And look at Mills trying to get back there, but because of the fake, where he took about 3 steps to his left, took him out of the play enough for Wilson to complete the ball.
He could use a deep booming one. Here's a fake. They fake it to Homer, and they've got the first
first down and more. Travis Homer, what a call!
You know, Blair getting that block for me on the side, that really helped me out.
I like the way it was executed. The guys did it beautifully, and the timing was exactly right. Great job by Brian Schneider and Larry Izzo to come up with the idea and the thought of it, and then for the guys to execute. That's a lot of people that are involved with getting that done, and a lot of communication and all that.
But that hasn't even seemed to help because there are a lot of different assignment errors.
A little trickery here, and Geno Smith throwing, and that is complete to the 10, to the 5, to the 4-yard line. That is Tyler Lockett once again.
You spend all week or sometimes all season waiting for the perfect time to do it, and then you're able to execute it.
So get fast, try to get some first downs, but 3rd and long is what's plagued this team. But here we have a fake.
It is a fake indeed, and this is Travis Homer, who got a block, takes it the other way, and this will be 6. Can you believe it? 73 yards.
Unbelievably gutsy call here. Direct snap to Travis Homer. There is no one out in front of him. He's got his fullback, Nick Ballore, giving him some freedom. Gets into the end zone, does a flip. What a gutsy call by Pete Carroll to start this game.
Big game for Travis Kelce yesterday. His biggest of the year. Here's a little lateral to Charbonnet. That worked. First down, Seattle.
Executed well. We saw it last week by the Detroit Lions against Arizona that worked to perfection before the end of the half, and Seattle takes a page right out of their playbook.
From the 30, Smith-Njigba looking to throw. He fires downfield, and what a catch! DK Metcalf comes down with it at the Falcons' 35-yard line.
Metcalf goes up. I said one of the best athletes in the NFL. High points at football.
I gotta make sure my arm loose today.
Huh?
I gotta make sure my arm loose today.
Cameras on you, bro.
What that mean?
Trying to give away our trick play. Come on, man. Now he is second behind the great Steve Largent in receptions, yards, and touchdowns.
Smith-Njigba flips it to his left. And this is Charbonnet down the sideline. How about that one from the Seahawks playbook?
Blitz is coming. Crossing pattern underneath. Quick toss to JSN and a throw to the far side by Charbonnet.
Come on now, I'm 3 for 3, baby. I'm 3 for 3. I'm 3 for 3 this season. Come on. Stop playing. Good catch, boy.